The weather a bit less ideal for tonight's 4th of July celebration as the Pittsbitters and Rivets look to provide their own fireworks here on the final game of the first half. Thank you for spending your evening with us tonight and making us a part of your 4th of July weekend as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Turtle Creek Stadium. Jackson Hayden with you. Well, the Pittsbitters have a chance to sweep the best opponent on their side of the Great Lakes Division tonight and keep their recent success going. Taking a look at what's been going on down by the bay, well, a lot of people in the Traverse City area think it's the National Cherry Festival, but for the Pittsbitters, it's the Cherry Feastival. Winners of 4 of their last 5 games and a chance to sweep another division opponent during this stretch, all against key opponents, Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, and Rockford. Earlier today, I talked with one of the hottest offensive players on the team, Brett Rosman, who's been a big key to the Pittsbitters' success recently. Brett, right now, you're one of the hottest bats in the lineup, getting on base in an unbelievable clip at 472, and you're batting a team high of 345. Just walk me through how you've been able to get as hot as you were. I know, obviously, you started the season with a little bit of an injury, a little bit of a setback, but now that you're back and you're playing more every day, you've really started to get going. So walk me through your journey back to the field and maybe just how you've been able to get swinging really well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that injury was definitely a setback for me, but I think it gave me time to, clear my mental state, get everything ready, and then come back even healthier than I was. And I don't know, I'm just seeing the ball really well. I'm listening to what all the coaches are preaching. Our great hitting coach, AC, is preaching some good stuff. We're working on stuff pregame, postgame, talking about everything, going over film. And Reeves he's running a great offense as well and everything. So I think it's all coming together, and I'm starting to buy in.
You're probably the most aggressive base runner on this team, taking a lot of chances on the bases, and it's been working out for you for the most part. Talk to me about your decisions on what and what not to do when you are base running.
Yeah, so, going back to it, Reeves preaches to us be aggressive on the bases and try and take as much, and he's not going to be as mad, as being slow on the bases or not taking that chance. So I've just been really taking those chances, everything I got, and just being aggressive and hustling out of the box and turning everything into a potential double.
Y'all have won 4 out of your last 5 games, and you're getting hot at the right time for the start of the second half. What's been the drive to keep this going, and what has been the special juice that has gotten the team to be playing so well as of late?
I think we have our team finally together. All of our guys are in and are staying, so I think we're all coming together and starting to gel as a team, and we're all getting really close with one another, and it's really the team chemistry that's helping out a lot, and I think, like I said, we're just all buying into it, and we're all understanding our role as we go into the season.
Brett will be back in the lineup tonight as the designated hitter, and Brett, thank you, and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Jackson.
Tonight's pitching matchup features Logan Pecor versus Cameron Nohos. Pecor making his first and final start with the Pittsbitters tonight. Last time out was against the Kalamazoo Growlers, where it was a much-needed performance out of the bullpen, where he threw 3 1/3 innings, giving up just 1 run on 3 hits, walking 2, and he struck out 3 batters. For Nohos, he's making his first start in the Northwoods League after 3 seasons. Primarily a long relief guy, but he threw 2 innings back on June 30th against the Growlers, where he allowed 2 runs to score. The Pittsbitters will seek to finish 1 game above 500 with a win tonight, while the Rivets will look to avoid getting swept for the first time this season. This and much more coming up on the Northwoods League Sports Network. 1-0, crush to left field. Spence moving back. He turns and looks, and this ball is gone. Von Lackey breaks the scoring drought for the Pittsbitters, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Bottom of the first inning, Traverse City Pittsbitters coming up, trying to jump on the Rivets early here again. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here for the Pittsbitters, and there's our player to watch here again tonight, Brett Rosman, just on fire right now. His top 4 of this lineup, really, it's been Rosman, Piasecki, 1 and 2. Guerra with the rare off day. As the first pitch from Cameron Nohos. As it's chopped to first, DeMarco will gather and throw for out number 1. So Rosman not wasting any time. And let's take a look at the defensive positioning for the Rockford Rivets. Going left to right, Lucas Spence Newman and Braden Bakes out in the outfield. Kono Piatz and Zalewski on the corners, and DeMarco and Mihalikis up the middle with Ryan Breaks calling the shots as the first pitch to Aaron Piasecki is low for ball one. A little bit of a different lineup compared to what we've seen from Josh Rebant, as the pitch will clip the outside part of the plate for strike one. And it feels like a lot of the guys that haven't been starting more consistently are now in the lineup tonight, as the Pit Spitters will look to finish a game above 500 and sweep the Rivets and continue this hot little stretch of baseball they've been playing. The 2-1 is fouled back. Aaron Piasecki is probably the second hottest hitter on this team during the stretch. Him and Rosman going 1 and 2 is lethal. Piasecki, of course, during this homestand, starting things off with a bang with a walk-off home run. The first ever walk-off home run in franchise history. And to be clear, there have been walk-offs in the past, but there's not a walk-off home run. Here's the 3-2. Skied out to left field. Spence will move over towards the foul line and makes the catch for out number 2. Now JT Sokolov will step up to the plate. But going back to our discussion back in the top of the first inning when we talk about roster turnover and how the end of the first half is a big cue for a lot of players to depart because some guys might be on inning limits. Some college coaches just don't want them to be tired for fall ball, as the first pitch to Sokolov is in there for strike one. And they also just don't want to risk injury. Just overuse them because, well, a lot of these guys have played 45-plus games back in the spring. And Sokolov past the diving glove at DeMarco and into left field. And there's a 2-out base knock for the first runner of the evening for the Pit Spitters. And lately you've been seeing Sokolov either at the top of the lineup or at the bottom of the lineup. And really, the ninth spot in the lineup can be a bit of a, let's say a second leadoff type of guy. And that's exactly what Sokolov has been doing. He had a 3-for-4 night a couple of days ago. And trying to get a little bit more consistent hits at the plate. His first pitch to Von Lackey, freshman from Georgia Tech University, digs in. But for the Rivets, they're losing a lot of position players, a lot of what has made their offense as powerful as it's been. But for the Pit Spitters, it's the opposite. It's their pitching. As Sokolov takes off, the throw down to second is not in time. And you know to always expect that from Sokolov with the wheels that he brings to the table. You constantly see him trying to bunt, trying to get on via that way, and then as soon as he gets on first, he's almost always going to try to steal second. His nose will step off, but for the Pit Spitters, they're losing a lot of pitching. They're losing their closer, Mitchell Grannon. They're losing Logan Pecor. Carson Fisher, the pitch, low. And that's just how this league runs. Especially because a lot of the guys that are leaving were big time guys in their rotation at their selective college. This ball will get buried into the dirt, so the count will be 3-1 to the power hitting righty. His teammate from Georgia Tech, Brett Denby, in the on deck circle. Santiago Garcia departed following Saturday night's game. 3-1. Ripped foul down the third base line. Sokolov with a pretty good jump out there at second. So count will be full with 2 away. Pittsburghers with an early scoring opportunity here in the bottom of the first. You saw this last night as they jumped for 2 in both the first and second inning. Trying to do it again here tonight. Score as many runs as you possibly can against one of the top hitting teams in all the Northwoods League. Here's the 3-2. Outside for ball 4. So here's Brett Denby.
Number 27, shortstop.
Denby is a guy that brings a lot to the table. He gets on base really, really well, but he has been struggling with collecting some of the hits, at least consistently, that is. Did have a hit in last night's ball game, but before that, you had to go back to June 25th. But a lot of these offensive players that you'll see will stick around. As Nojos blows the 94-mile-per-hour fastball by Denby and is in the driver's seat to get out of this jam that he has built himself here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 0-2. Outside. 95 on the radar gun. Denby trying to come up with a big hit here. The 1-2. And low. 95 on the gun again. And it was having a conversation with Rockford's broadcaster before the game, Parker Perill, and he said there was a fan sitting in the stands with a radar gun and had mentioned to him that he touched 100 on the radar gun. As he blows that one by him for strike 3 for out number 3. We'll head to the top of the second inning, still scoreless. You're watching the Northwoods League Sports Network.